All right, what's up, guys? If this is your first time on one of these videos, this is a free AI consulting call. Today, I have Ian, and he's got a pretty interesting concept for a digital business. So, we're going to be helping him build this out today using AI tools that he uses, which was going to be Gemini, ChatGPT, and Grok. So, we're going to help him figure out first which LLMs he should be using for what. We're going to analyze his current position and see what we can fix and what we can incorporate and get done with AI. So, we start by building him out the entire digital product that he can actually list on Etsy or anywhere online that people could purchase it. And then we took it a step further and built him a landing page that he's going to be able to launch tomorrow. And then we helped him put together a marketing strategy using AI videos, Remotion, a bunch of really cool tools, 100% AI, no face. He doesn't want to show his face. So definitely stick around for the end where we make the videos. There's a ton of value in this video. I hope you guys enjoy. See you there. I read everything that you are trying to do. It sounds awesome. I'd love to get it done today. I called you earlier about kind of our four goals from this, but I just want to go over them again. I think you have something really clear. I really don't think like most of what we do today, I think is going to be us building it, us getting you that product ready. Like let's double niche down. Let's get a product ready so that when we're done with this call, it sounds like you know how to set up everything and get that side of the business going. We just got to double down on what it is going to be, right? And how we can productize it. I think you were talking about like different languages and all of that. So it's fun stuff, dude. I love this idea. I know I'm going to have fun with this. So I appreciate you jumping on. So there's four things that we want to do by the end of this call, right? At the end, I want to give you 3 action items that you can do tomorrow, how you can start using, your AI, whether you're using ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, just start using it. 3 action items to actually help you in whatever you're going to be doing, right? Show you the real use cases. 2 is show you the real use cases for how you can actually use AI in whatever you're doing today. Same kind of thing. Educate you on how AI can be used in a more efficient way. That goes into prompt engineering. Really, we're going to dive into context. And then 2 things, it's called drift and hallucination. We just want to touch on it just barely, just so you can kind of understand the fundamentals. And it'll really, I think by the end of this, hopefully have a big click of like, whoa, this is how I use it. This is how it could get done. And then on this call, I'm going to help you start building that AI brain, helping you build context and everything so you can actually go and do those 3 things tomorrow with the best context and getting the best results, right?
Fantastic. Great.
So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. I have just built a little bit of a document here of where we are with everything. I just want to go over it with you. I'm going to just kind of take notes as we talk here, okay?
Okay.
So you said you're a casual user of GPT. Are you paying for that?
No, like I've been using Grok. Like I have the whatever Twitter subscription. Yeah. So I've been using Grok. So I guess you could say I've been paying that way. I have played around. I haven't used Claude yet, but I've used some Gemini today or yesterday, and that worked really well.
Nice.
So but I didn't use far enough to pay for it. So I made a spreadsheet and I was like, well, that was wicked. So yeah.
Okay. So you use Grok. And then you just pay you're paying for Grok, is what you said. Yeah. And then you're using ChatGPT. And then what were you doing with Gemini the other day where you really liked it, the output?
When I saw your video on doing the Google Docs, I thought I'd try to make like a, in the same realm. I started making like a loan calculator with trade-ins and down payments and interest rates and loan terms and that sort of thing. And I was really impressed with how that worked.
Okay, so. Beautiful. And it just it gave you an output and for a spreadsheet, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And spreadsheet came out good?
It did, yeah.
Did. Really good. Okay, so we're really happy with that. That's good. And it's integrated with Google, so you can just drag and drop that and it's a Google spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is a Google spreadsheet, pardon me. Yeah.
I don't use Gemini. I use Grok. And what I'm doing right here is Gemini. And what I'm trying to do is really, this first thing is I want to figure out what AIs you're using, because this is going to be like our weapon book, right?
Yeah.
Because we're going to use different weapons for different things, right? One of the things that just came out about Grok, which I was like super excited that you're using Grok, because they just passed had set a benchmark for hallucinations, right? And truth, which is cool because a big thing that we see a lot is like, I don't know if you've seen, like, AI causes delusion, right? And can like fuel delusions. And this is our first topic, and it's drift and hallucinations, sort of in the same realm. But what happens is when we go and ask it, let's say, hey, I have this idea to launch into this market and I want to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go and try to find all of the statistics on why that's a great idea, but it'll fail to look at it'll fail to be the devil's advocate. And so you start getting like people that are like, it's vanity metrics. It's pulling the little things that look good to it, but then it fuels delusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what's cool is, and that comes from drift. Just not knowing everything, and hallucination, both in the same thing. And so that's why you see, you get like answers that, like on ChatGPT, right? Major hallucinations, major drift, right? When it comes to facts. So like I would say your Grok is like anything legal, anything to do with like, just that has to be fact, right? Loan terms, if it's going to go and look these things up, that's where hallucination comes in. So drift is when we don't tell it exactly what we want, right? And we give it context, because it's good. Let's say I want to start this business. It's going to go in and fill all of those gaps in that, hey, you're a business that is trying to get to people that are low income, right? But it's going to go and build you a business that are for people that are high income. And you wanted a simple website, but it made you a complex website.
That's right. Yeah.
It fills in all the gaps. And that's where context comes from. And that's how you reduce drift. And then what we just talked about is hallucination, where, ChatGPT, you ask it a question and it's so dead. It's like, hey, I know for sure that this is the answer, but it's not the answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a hallucination. So GPT falls at, I think it was like 82, 85%, 84%. Grok just set a benchmark at 94, 96%. So this will be like your truth funnel. So we'll just say this is your truth engine, right? Anything that you're trying to get full truth from. I love GPT for codecs, for coding and all of that. That's what I use for like a lot of our builds that I'll do on the channel, but mostly because people like use ChatGPT more. I'm a big Claude fan, but Claude is expensive. Claude is like very, very expensive to run. So we can use Gemini for what we're talking about right now, which is spreadsheets, and then these calculators, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we go. So cool. So now we have an idea of what you're using. And your goal here is you want to make money with AI. You want to automate your business. You want to get more leads, booking calls, all of this. Tell me a little bit about this. Let's start at tell me a little bit about you, Ian.
Me?
When you say automating my business, what do you do?
Right now I am unemployed, but actually most recently I was in plant operations, so like oil factories, plastic makers, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And just obviously with what's been going on in the world, you start to look around, you start to think like, what else could there be? So I do have a background in banking. I worked at a bank before, and I've worked in auto finance and sales and leasing and fleet management. So when that's what I was saying, like I got really interested in what you were pointing out, because my interest lies in the finance side of things. As much as I'm interested in engineering, there's a lot of smart people in engineering, so I don't know if I'd be able to put a really, really strong product out there that could compete and deal with the ridicule from that side of the world. But from the finance side of it, with the numbers, at least I know math can match, and I like I said, I think there's something I can put out there that's easy to use for people.
Wonderful. And your main focus is Etsy for this, right?
Yeah.
Or at least you're leaning towards that route.
That's right. Yeah, I was kind of wanting. That's what it was. This project, like this whole thing, started as an Etsy thing, and I've just been sort of pulling little bits of information here and there from like how to market it and so forth. So it's putting me in realms I haven't really dealt with before. So this is all new to me. I don't have an Etsy yet. I haven't built it yet. I wanted to do everything like best foot forward, just so it gets the right thing going with the algorithms, right? If you know what I mean. Like, I want to be precise, right off the hop.
1,000,000,000%. Okay, awesome. And then, okay, I have a couple notes here. Never done Etsy, previous bank. You just told me all of this good stuff. All my eyes been on Grok. Wonderful. I have other digital POD. I need help direct my steps. I like my ideas. I need Aaron out. Okay, so what I'm trying to look for is just anything. Okay, here it is. This is what you said was like, hey, this would be a win if you walked away from this call, which is making our first product, very serious, ready to move fast. I want to make a car budget and purchase planner for people who are not financially literate or struggle with English. I want a product I can translate into multiple languages. Okay, awesome. So let's get into it. You have a pretty good idea. I'm gonna just start asking questions about this calculator, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So what's everything in this calculator? What's it gonna have? Go ahead.
I could probably bring up the one that I built.
Yes, even better. Even better.
Okay. So this is the amortization schedule. So this is like the one term that not a lot of people hear. It's basically how much like your start of a balance, right? So this 28 grand would be like your start of your loan, then your monthly payment. That's how much interest, or that's how much payment goes towards your principal, and then this is how much goes towards the interest on that particular payment. So as you pay down your car loan, the interest that you pay on each loan goes on the interest on each payment goes down, but then your principal payment goes up on each payment, right? So your payment doesn't change, and then of course your balance. So that's the whole thing I really wanted people to get, because nobody knows how to do that. And if everybody knew how to do that right off the hop when they buy a car and figure that out, they would be so much further ahead.
How much they're going to be paying in interest, right?
Yeah. And also then the rest of it is like, I'm pointing at the screen, but yeah, so this would be basically the demo figures that I'd want people to put in, right? So you put in your vehicle price, the fees, the taxes, so forth, and then that's how you calculate your monthly payments. Now, the one step I haven't gone yet is the real thing that I want people to put in is I want people to be able to truth check their car dealer, right? So it'd be really nice to have a spreadsheet where car dealer comes out and he's got his little Sharpie pen, right? And he's got the little squares out and he's got like down payment, monthly payment, how long it's going to be, whatever. Sure. But what you want to know is I want to be able to say, well, if I put in this monthly payment that he just gave me and I know roughly how much the car is, I want to know how much the interest is that he gave me, right? Because what I found when I worked in the car business is people would get like hoodwinked, right? Car payment should be $250, but the dealer signs out $275, and the customer is like, oh, okay, I guess $275 is pretty close, but could you make it $265, right? So that's the thing. It's like if it should be $255, I want the customer to be able to re-engineer that, figure it out, because that's what I did last time I was involved with purchasing a car, and 3 out of 3 dealers all gave a higher payment than what should have been on the paperwork right off the bat. And that's the tool I want to give to people, and that's the tool I want to sell.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but it's trying to interface is sort of tough, right?
Of course. Right. Okay. Interesting. I love this. So when you let me just on a note, when you went to the 3 dealers and you did that and you checked the payments, what happened after that? Were they like, oh yeah, you're right, or?
Yeah, because like I used to do that for a living, right? I've done like probably
right. No. Of course, no. That's amazing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So with just having something quick on my phone that I knew what to look for to Google, I could do it, right? But I think that if there's something on Etsy that actually a product, because I know what I'm looking for, I know what I need to do, but not many people know how to do that on the fly, right? So whereas if you have a Google little spreadsheet, just type in the payment and it'll pop up the interest rate of this, what it would be if they're telling me the car is 35 grand and my payment should be 541, but they're telling me it's 565. I want to know what the interest rate that is, because then I can negotiate on that part.
Let's get to this. This is awesome. Okay, beautiful. So I think one thing that we could also add in here is if you just made like a lump payment, like, you know, not only from when they buy the car, but I think it'll also be a nice way for them to track while they're living in the car, right?
That's
and
right.
Maybe if they went to go to sell it in the future, right?
That's
hey,
right.
I've had this car for this long, or you know, maybe to calculate their trade-in value or whatever it might be. Maybe some other features in here, or just at least on the financing terms, because I think that's where you've doubled down, is hey, just along the time, if I make a quick payment here, or I do, you know, raise my monthly payments, you know, what does that do for me for, you know, my actual, what I'm, you know, how much longer I have to pay on it, all of that good stuff.
Right.
Do you think that'd be something that would be valuable to add?
That's it. And I think there's a lot of product that you have a good handle of, where I can use my idea as like a good marketing front for what you can build or what you can help me build. If you know,
Yeah.
because
Dude, even this video, I'm gonna send it to you at the end. It'll be the full unedited version. Dude,
yeah,
when you just told me that story, bro, I was bought in.
yeah.
Like, and that's just a clip. What are you doing for like? Are you comfortable with like shooting videos and recording yourself?
That was
What's your way? How are you gonna market that?
I honestly, I was watching I don't know what you call them, the influencers or whatever, the Etsy ladies on YouTube, who were really, really proficient business people. You know, they were doing some wonderful stuff, and they have some fantastic ideas that I was like, oh man, I would love to do that, just to have the experience, right? Where they were marketing through like Pinterest and basically, you know, trying to play with the algorithm on one site so it would tickle another. And I thought that was like really cool. So that was sort of what I was initially thinking of, is that was what what I wanted to try at least. But I didn't really, like, obviously I'm not really a YouTube person. So
No, not at all. Have you ever do you have Facebook or Instagram?
I do. Yeah. I don't really interact with them very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm one of those people sort of been on the outside of the social media. I've sort of kept my privacy private, you know, just
Fair enough.
family, you know.
Okay, so do you want to keep this all faceless, is what you're saying?
For what you're doing, I'm full on board. Yeah, I just
But,
mean my.
but for what you're building to market it, you want to keep your brand and what you're building here faceless. You don't want to.
That was my initial intention. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Even better. No, cool. Because that now I can show you some even cooler stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
So awesome. No, because now we can talk about AI videos. We can talk about Remotion, which is like AI editor, basically. They can create you graphics, create you like demos and stuff. And then maybe you just put a voiceover here and there. You also have voice features. I build voice agents. There's a couple tools that we can use for like AI voice layovers. Because look, the product, Ian, we're gonna build this product in 5 minutes.
No.
The part that we need is the marketing end of like, hey, how can we use AI to blast this thing, to create an omnipresence? Because I always say this to like everybody. I had a consulting a couple of days ago, and it was this guy John. He's been in a business for a really long time, and he was like, yeah, I just keep posting on my blog. And I was like, John, nobody's reading your blog. And he said, yeah, I know. This site says there's nobody reading his blog. But you know what they go to? He has a video on his main page. And that video gets more views. And we told him to put it on there. And that video gets more views than anything. Than anything on his site, than any button. It's the video, right? And so it goes to show you, like, we live in a video world. We live in like a voice world. People don't read stuff anymore. And that's why when people look things up on Google, it comes up at the top. You don't have to read through anything. Right? It's like minimize the amount of time to spend on like researching things. So if you can put it in front of on social media, I don't call it social media, it's interest media. If you can put it in front of interest media, just put a video out every single day. And I don't mean to make this like a social media marketing video, but that's where this is, and we're going to talk about how AI can step in there, because that's the most important thing. Like I said, the product, we can build it. That's no big. You pretty much already have it built, right?
Yeah.
So it's the marketing and building demo videos of like, hey, this is how this works. So we're gonna dive into Remotion. We're gonna dive into Grok. Grok does video generation. Gemini, that'll be a video generator. You have 3 a day that you can do on Gemini. You generate 3 videos a day. Throw them up on Instagram and Facebook of it talking about a well-scripted. I'll show you how to script them to make them look good, make them look human. There's also ARC ads, which is like human talking content. But now we're getting into marketing. But let's dive into it. Let's build it.
Yeah, crazy. Wow, it's funny. I thought about a lot about this already. Like, because like that was just it. I didn't want me to be the reason for this product. I wanted to sell it, as people more interesting than me, and that would be it. Like so I already had thought about some of the avatars that I'd like to use for this already. So.
Yeah, wonderful. Do you have like pictures? We'll do it. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna do it fully from scratch. We're gonna do it all from scratch today. Okay, cool. Now we've got our outline. I'm gonna set the timer now. This is the start of the hour. So now we're on the same page here.
All right.
Let's get this going.
Okay.
Can you share this spreadsheet with me? Yeah. For the things that you want to do, a lot of this can be done with Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
I think your best bet would be getting ChatGPT. If you're gonna get, anything, I would say get ChatGPT. Image generation is wonderful now. You can actually hit the bottom of your screen to stop sharing there. We'll use ChatGPT. It has that agentic behavior. It can do a lot of the things. Like if you want to run OpenClaw, you can run ChatGPT on it, and we're going to go into like cron jobs and start talking about autonomous behavior as well. But let's just start at the beginning of like building this, right? Let's get it done. So I'm going to share my screen again. I just want to dive into how this really works at the forefront, like the basics of this, which is prompting. And I'll just dive over this. How have you watched any videos on prompt engineering or any of that before?
No, I haven't.
No? This is the best place for you to start. So most people use Claude. When I use Claude, just replace it with Gemini or whatever. I just put Claude in here. But most people use Claude like this, where they say, help me make a presentation or help me make a spreadsheet. Then they get something that feels generic, vague, or weirdly off. Usually the problem's not Claude, it's the way the prompt was written. If you want better output, you need to stop treating it like a search bar and start treating it like a very capable assistant that needs a clear brief. The easiest way to do that is by giving it more structure. Now, one thing that I just want to add to this is that you can literally give any prompt an entire book, 2-3 books worth of prompting and architecture and explanation into a prompt. Never limit it to just a sentence or 2 sentences. You can never think that it's too much. The more, the better, right? But you want to start with, here's the 5 ways to make prompts dramatically better. The first thing is the role. You want to tell Claude who it is supposed to be, and this changes how it approaches the task. So instead of saying, help me make this spreadsheet or help me make a presentation, say, hey, you're a presentation strategist who helps people make clear, persuasive, well-structured presentation. That alone gives Claude a much better lane to operate in. So first thing is role, second thing is context. We want to give Claude the background, or ChatGPT the background. This is where most people mess up. They ask for something without giving it enough information, then wonder why it feels generic. Claude can only work with what you give it. And that's what we go back to when we talked about drift, right? Is it's going to fill in all those little things that it doesn't know that you want. So the best way to avoid that is to give it context. What is it that you're working on? Who's it for? What is happening? What kind of tone do you want? What has already been tried? Give it everything. Tell it, hey, I've done this. This is what I didn't like. This is what I didn't do. And that's exactly what we just did in our conversation, so that I can help me put these prompts together. Then you have to give it your goal, right? Not just what you want made, but what you want to accomplish with it. Explain something clearly, persuade someone, make a presentation feel premium, simplify a complicated topic, right? A lot of weak prompts ask for a task. Strong prompts ask for an outcome, which leads us to 4 and 5. So we're telling our prompt what is good. We want it, telling it what we want. We also have to give it constraints on what's not good and what we don't want, right? So like I said, you don't want to make it it's going to want to make it overly complicated. Tell it to keep it simple. Don't use cheesy language. Don't sound robotic. Make it sound human. Avoid buzzwords. Don't use emojis, right? And then the 5th one is output format. So tell Claude exactly how you want the answer delivered. This saves time, usually gives you something much more usable. So, hey, if we're trying to make a spreadsheet, I want it in a spreadsheet that I can use, that I can drop into Google Drive, right? Give me a slide by slide, or make multiple tabs, right? Whatever it is, right? So the easiest way to think about prompting is a weak prompt sounds like, do this for me. A strong prompt sounds like, hey, here's who you are. Here's the situation. Here's the goal. Here's the rules. And here's how I want it delivered. That one shift makes a huge difference. And I've just included, a couple examples in here, which I'll share with you. So prompt engineering, it's super important. And this is how we get really good outputs. That's how you see those people online that they go in and they just do one prompt and it just comes out like absolutely amazing. This is how they do it. So because you're using Gemini, I'm only going to use Gemini for this. I'll jump over into Codex for a couple of things if I need it, but I'm going to try to just use the tools that you use today to show you that it's all possible. No fluff, nothing like that. I'm going to show you how it's done, okay?
Cool. Yeah.
So we're going to take our prompt here. So we want to use this as the framework. So I'm going to just drop this in here. And we're going to speed run this. So I'm just going to say, hey, use this as the framework. And then we're just going to tell it everything that we want, right?
Right.
So here you go. Where's your spreadsheet? You emailed that to me, right?
Did it show up?
Let's see. I could probably go to Drive. There it
Yeah.
is.
That's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's right.
Beautiful. Okay, we're gonna go. I want to create a I want to also add to anytime during and the spreadsheet that you have right now, it has all of the back end calculations and everything in it, right?
Yeah, like it's so new. Like I built it and I haven't really tested it that much, but those fields, those first four, like with the down payment and the vehicle price, should all populate if you type in there.
Okay, cool. So, and then it had, let's see. So we want to show monthly payment, total interest paid, total cost of ownership, custom values. Okay. And data output data.
Would there be a way to put a command where if the down payment, if the monthly payment itself was changed, it would be able to change the other terms? You know what I mean? I don't really know how that, and I think this is
Yeah.
where stuff.
Oh, up here. I also want a way for people to see what would happen if they make a payment at any time during the loan period to show them how they could pay it down faster.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's actually, this will work. That's exactly, that'll be just, that actually works. Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And then from your intake form, you gave me your goal and your vision. So I'll include this. A car buyer budget purchase planner for people who are not financially literate or struggle with English. Own a product. All right. Can you help me? We're gonna build you a website today too.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. This is amazing.
This will be a digital product I will sell on Etsy and on my website. add any other values or all right.
That's amazing.
Okay, so then I'm just gonna do this, right? Let's see, and then we'll also attach your spreadsheet. Boom. We're gonna change this to thinking, and boom. Cool. So while that goes, I'm going to start on this. Now we have like your brand vision. So I'm just going to keep using the same thing. This will be like my brain that I'm going to use for everything. So I'm going to just jump over to ChatGPT. Because you're using Gemini, I'm going to use ChatGPT. You can use it for free if you'd like. So we're going to do this. And now we're going to say, well, I got to wait for this actually. Wait a second. Okay. Car buyer's planner. It's been developed and is ready for. Well, that was pretty quick.
Guess my idea is really simple. That's awesome. So crazy.
Okay, so this looks like just the framework. Okay. Awesome. So now, features added premium. Let's go check this out. Let's see. Where is this? Why is it? Where is this supposed to be? Okay, so this is. Okay, what do we think of this?
That's the amortization schedule. And then, yeah, and then you just
purchase dashboard.
Oh, so the yellow fields are probably the ones they can input to, right?
I'd imagine that's where they would input it. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. And if it calculates, and then vehicle price, and oh, sorry, couldn't see my face. Yeah, no, that looks terrific.
Yeah. Okay. I think we could probably make it a little bit more visual. So
yeah,
let's
that's the hard part, to make it exciting, spreadsheet exciting.
So this would be like the prompt, how you'd really want to structure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could do the same kind of thing. You know, what I was really going to do is have it give me this prompt, and then I'm going to take this, and we'll even do this. This will probably give us even better luck. We'll go take this framework, and we'll go to a new chat, and then let's just say, see what it does. See if it gives us something different. I'm going to jump back over here. What happened to that prompt? Did it die?
That's crazy. Gave you marketing recommendations too.
Did it? Oh, yeah. All right, so it looks like they're both working on it. Okay, I think we got a new one. Is this, let's see. Yeah, we got a new one. See what this looks like. Oh, why is it doing that? There we go.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's prettier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's solid. That looks better. Cool. All right. So we've got a project.
Yeah, it's got nice tabs there too. Perfect. Start here. Oh, awesome.
Start here. Introduction. Tell you how to use it. Accelerated payoff. Shows you all of this good stuff. Nice. It shows you the months saved, new payoff time, interest saved. Nice.
Yeah.
Payoff victory stacks, extra pay. Nice. So you can just go in and put, you know, an extra payment here, there, wherever.
Victory stack. Yeah.
And then let's just check on the other one, because we did have it generate us another one. Check this one out. Okay, pretty similar. Yeah, I like the other one better.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, so now we've got a product. Cool. Now we're gonna do some cool stuff. Let's build this thing out. We're gonna download this, drop it into Drive. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna push. I've never used Gemini like this. Let's push it. Let's say I want to put this on a website. So now we're gonna reference this. This is how you make really pretty stuff on websites. So I'm gonna say, and it's for a Claude, but reference this. How much are we selling this for?
That's a really good question. I wasn't sure.
Let's start at $14.99.
Okay.
$14.99. We can purchase the spreadsheet.
Oh man.
Alex Armory's best converting landing page templates and frameworks. And then we'll just for the payment link, you'll just go and set up like a Stripe or something like that, and then we'll just replace the payment link. Obviously, I'm showing how you could do it. You just you just give the payment link of Stripe to Claude when you're, or Gemini or whatever you're using while you're making it, and it puts it in, right? And then how do we use it? We say output. We want it to be HTML format. Cool. See, I mean, this is very, very, one thing just to mention is like, hey, you see me doing really terrible prompting. I'm speed running this, right? But like, use the core fundamentals that we talked about. I've given it a lot up here, so it has quite a bit about like what we're trying to build here. Mm-hmm. So now it's writing our HTML. Oh, Gemini is actually doing pretty good. So we'll go here, save this on Notepad, save as, downloads, the HTML. Let's check it out. Stop guessing your car payments. Start knowing the truth. Most dealerships hide fees into the monthly payment. Our truth and payoff planner exposes the math so you never pay $1 more. Get the planner and then that download now. Cool. And then obviously you can download it. The problem, dealerships rely on the financial confusion, hidden markups. I mean, what do you think about this?
That's bang on perfect.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Dealer math versus truth math.
Wow.
See, like obviously we don't have mobile, but we can kind of get what this looks like on mobile. Looks pretty good.
That's impressive. Wow.
So boom. And you've got a name, Truth Planner, whatever you want it to be, right? So cool. Now we have a product. We have this. Now we just need to build a back end for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was where we just hit an hour from the beginning. We got 30 minutes to go. So let's do this. Fuck, that was quick. That's really quicker. Gemini's pretty good, man. I can't lie.
I tried really hard to come into this with like a good brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good sense about it. So nice.
Cool. I'm like, shoot, we did a lot already. All right. So now we need to get this live. So these are gonna be your steps, right? Like I said, by the end of this, I'm gonna give you steps that you can do tomorrow to get live and start making money, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna keep this all in one. I'll actually put it in a new file for you, and I'm gonna share this file with you once we're done. So let me drop in your website HTML. Now things are gonna have to get changed around for your HTML, but it'll be a good base that you can feed to it and say, hey, I just need to change this or this or this. Put this as the back end, right? Mm-hmm. So we've got your sheet. Let's just go check this out real quick. Car browse, truth, and payoff planner. Yeah, we could probably remove the emoji. I just hate emojis and stuff. Oh, we could put that. That's cool. You know what? No emojis. I'm sorry. I hate them, dude. I hate it, bro. Okay, cool. So go to dealer checker first. Enter your car details in the yellow boxes only. Look at the truth detector. If it's red, the dealer is overcharging you. Use the accelerated payoff to see how extra payments save you thousands in interest. Cool. So let's do it. Mm-hmm. Nice. Look at that. What they're showing me. All right. So what if the dealer tells me that it's a $600 payment? Oh,
Yep.
700.
Hidden markup. Yeah. Yeah. That's I've never seen that's the feature I needed it to have.
Boom,
Yeah.
50,000.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's just it. That's exactly it.
Boom, look at that. I'm just making sure all these are working.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're getting off on them.
Yeah. That's just it. The hidden market, that is exactly what I needed it to see. Because
Boom. And
yeah.
looks like it's showing us like what you're paying in interest to, like a nice little breakdown of it visually.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. So we've got this interest saved. So then we can kind of like, let's see, let's just make sure that this works. Boom. It looks like if I put $100 there, put 100, 1,200 there. Nice. Look at that.
Yep.
Cool. So I think we're good. All right. So we do have a working sheet. Wonderful. That's
That is
awesome.
amazing. Thank you so much. That like it's crazy how AI is actually like it visualizes the idea even though I hadn't seen it yet.
There we go.
Yeah.
You think we must think like AI, bro.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's just that's just it. Like that's I think holding a lot of people back from success is they just don't know how to interface their ideas, right? They don't know how to put it out there.
Exactly. And all I did was bro, did I do anything crazy today?
For me, it is.
Yeah, but like, did I do anything in here? Did I tell it anything crazy? Or
No.
like do some coding nerd shit? I didn't do anything, dude. I
Oh,
just, it's nothing crazy. It's just as understanding those fundamentals that we went over at the beginning. It is so important. As long as you're doing this, as long as you're prompting properly and you're giving the constraints, right?
mhm.
You're giving what you want as the output. As long as you do this, dude, you're gonna get amazing results.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Um,
was,
and then just like we talked about, like understanding, hey, these are gonna be I'm gonna use Grok as my truth engine. Anything that you ever are doing for truth. We talked about codecs. You really, honestly, everything we were doing, we just used Gemini for. So
mhm.
awesome. Cool. Now let's your step one tomorrow will be to get a domain, right?
Mhm.
For your website. Let's see. Let me get back to this. Cool. So domain, I recommend namecheap.com. For websites, step two is we're going to deploy this on something called Vercel. It's going to host it. It's free. You don't have to pay for any of this stuff. Step three, what is step three going to be? So obviously getting this on Etsy.
Mhm.
We should probably make some images, right? So create me a cover image for this on Etsy. This is a terrible, please don't like this is a terrible prompt. This is just me, I'm just speed running this, but I'm just
Mhm.
showing you what's possible with AI. Boom. The ultimate car buyer's truth planner. Cool. So now we have this,
Mhm.
so we can get it listed on Etsy. I'll just make this smaller. And probably need a description, right?
Mhm.
So say, write me a description to go with it.
So true. Absolutely true.
Boom. So now we have a description, right?
Mhm.
Boom. I'm just gonna make this bigger. We're gonna do more than 30. So you're gonna have like 20 steps tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got some
Okay.
work to do tomorrow, bro.
Totally fine. I got time.
All right, so you've got a description now.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'll make this understandable for you. Step three, step four is now we need to talk about content because you need to push this to the world or else nobody's ever going to see it.
Yeah.
So you create an email or whatever you're going to call it. I'm just going to call it Truth Planner. You got to create an email for Truth Planner, and then
Mhm.
you're going to create a Facebook, Instagram, and a TikTok. Step five, you can even create a YouTube.
Okay.
Because I'm going to show you how. So step five, so once you create your YouTube, now we need to get into content creation using Gemini, ChatGPT. Grok also does video now. And Remotion. We're going to go back up here, and we're going to say Codex is going to be used for, on this page, you're going to use Codex for Remotion video editing.
Remotion video editing. Okay.
Yep. And I'm just going to show you. So we're just going to go and, where did this go? So I'm going to say, new chat, create me a video. I say, I have a digital product and I want to create a promo video. Here's my product, create me a demo. Obviously, bad prompting. Bunch of context, though, right? Told it gave it the entire description of it, right? So that was a good idea. And then it's going to just create me a video. And this will be an 8-second video, and I can do 3 of these a day. On Grok, I can also create videos. So we'll go to Grok. We'll do the exact same thing over there. I haven't really played too much with Grok video, but let's give it a shot here. So we're just going to give it this. I got to sign in. What am I signed into? Let's see. All right, let's do it. So now it's creating me an image. Let's see. Did this one do it? All right, cool. So check this one out. Boom. So I have to say more?
That's amazing.
Right? So fix a couple things. Obviously, this is a bad prompt. You know, we want to tell it to get all of the lettering, all of this stuff right, do this and this and this.
Yeah.
You can pay for Gemini and get more videos. There's also Nana Banana. There's Seed Dance stuff out there that you can use. There's also ARC ads. You end up paying like $10 per video. This is if you wanted to run paid marketing. Your product is not something I would do any paid marketing on. Fully just social media, but it's like $11 a video, and it creates like super ultra realistic people. You know, that's what we use for like whenever we run ad campaigns. But so we've got that.
Analyzes the data, giving you the leverage you need to negotiate with confidence and achieve financial freedom. The Car Buyer Truth Planner analyzes the data.
Cool. And then we have this one.
This tool reveals hidden collect shows if you're overpaying. Get the truth and save thousands. Don't let dealer math confuse you. This tool reveals hidden collect shows if you're overpaying. Get the truth and save thousands. Don't let dealer.
Boom.
Wow. Holy cow.
Now I'm going to explain something to you. There's something called the law of mirrors, right? I just showed you with 2 of those. I just made 2 videos in under 2 minutes, if that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you started posting one of these a day, and each one only got 100 views. Let's say 2 of them a day. Let's boost it to 2 a day. Each one gets 100 views. You seem like a math guy. That's pretty quickly. You just got 1,400 views in 1 week. You didn't show your face. Imagine being, and like I said, it's not social media anymore. It's interest media, right? When you scroll, it only shows you the things that you're interested in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's 1,400 people that might have a slight interest in what you're doing.
That's right.
You're not going to get that on Google. You're not going to get that really anywhere other than blasting. Like, fortunately and unfortunately, it's like what everybody doesn't want to do, right? But then, you know, you just come up with the angle. And maybe you know, there's also things called pixels, right? Which pixels is just a bunch of free videos that are just stock videos. So if I want to go into like car dealership, let's go to videos, car dealership, voiceover review. Don't you hate going to the car dealership and you walk up to a guy like this and he sits you down at the table, find another stock image, and he comes to shake your hand, stock video image, and then he sits you down at the table. Where is it? And then they sit you down at the table and you have to sign some shit, and you look at the numbers, how she just peeked over, and you point something out, and you know they're just not right. That's why we created no audio over it. That's why we created this, just like this. That's why we created car buyer, trust planner, ultimate planner, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just made a whole video with a bunch of really great clips in it, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
we don't
incredible.
have to show our face. Even better, then you can go to Cartesia. You don't want to talk? You don't want your voice? You want to poop these out? Go get Cartesia. You start for free. We'll just go back. I already have a account. Listen to this. You explain those exact same things using a voice like that in the background, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now this is where we get into the fun stuff. I'm going to make this really quickly. We're going to do this in somewhat of a quick fashion because we've got 15 minutes left. This is the last part I want to leave you on, which is using Remotion. This is a free open source skill. It gives us the ability to create video and edit with AI, which is like amazing because everything that I just told you, we're going to create a video like I was just talking about, only from prompting, right?
Yeah.
So let's do this. So I'm going to, let's see, like, look at this, AI. I'll create those. Okay, so let's get into this. We're going to go ahead and grab our context, right? So we have this. We could download this. That'll be something we'll use in the video. And then where's our chat with Gemini? Here it is. Jump over here. I'll just take this. Here's the description. Okay. And then we're going to jump back over to Codex. I need to create a create a 30-second video. Boom. All right. Oh, I see. Let me do this. I give it the product description. Boom. All right. Cool. So that's gonna start making us a video. And then that's like we talked about at the beginning. This is where it comes down to. Hey, we made the product, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this sparks up your brain later tonight. Your head hits the pillow, and you say, "Dude, if I could do that, why not? I make four different calculators, maybe all in the same genre, and then you sell all those 4 calculators on Etsy, or they could just go to your website and get all 4 in one, and then they could use the calculator on your website."
Yeah.
Something like that, right? Hey, you just get all 4 in one. Whatever, maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's you try different calculators in other niches, something else, a bigger problem that you find, or another problem that you find.
Yeah.
I
did have one question I wanted to ask you about was like with the when you were doing the selling and so forth, were you finding like, because I've heard some people say like to offer like 3 different products, like have like a high, medium, low in terms of price. Is that something you've ever experienced? Like,
I wouldn't say for this. I think singular pricing on this, just because having tiers, it's like, what more? It's like just put it into a spreadsheet. No, I don't think, not for this.
just let her go, right? Okay.
Yeah, no, I would just let it rip. I think again, the biggest thing you could do is just market it. Like if you're the one that's pushing, like that's all the spreadsheets, everybody that does better in any market, honestly, right now, is just maximizing on social media. I can't stress it enough. I'm just like, I'm big getting blown away because Ian, I never like talking online. Like this is me. I'm starting. This is like a month in. I started my Instagram, but maybe like 8 days ago, and I have 150,000 views already in 8 days, and I'm getting so much traction on all of this stuff, and it just is like, I always hear everybody talking about it, and then you do it, and it's like, whoa, And I just post 3-4 times a day. It's nothing good, just me talking, about whatever it might be, but. Yeah, that's 150,000 people that, again, it's not social media, it's interest media, that are interested, right? Have some form of interest.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you do 3 videos of Gemini a day, right? Does
Mhm.
Here's let me tell you something too. This is, I'd say this line should fuel everything that you do. Is in this AI space right now. And maybe you make it something where there's AI on the back of your calculator, you know, that maybe tells them, you know, go look at this car, go look at this car. Maybe you come up with a deeper idea because you see how good AI can do, right? Um,
Yeah.
and so you can connect it to a spreadsheet where, like, hey, they put in this and then it gives them something on the back end. It's easy to do. You connect API keys and we can talk about it. And I'll probably put a video out about it.
Mhm.
But remember this. It doesn't have to be good, Ian. It just has to work.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be good. Like,
Yeah.
it just has to work. It genuinely, the spreadsheet's amazing. It works. It looks good too, but it doesn't have to be good, you know? As long as it works, as long as it does what X output is supposed to do, you know, whatever it's supposed to do it. You know, there's so much that you can build within this AI space. And so much tools that people will use and pay for, you know? Um,
See, one thing, like I think a lot of people too, like a lot of new creators, a lot of people hesitate because they don't want to put out crap. They will actually, because in some stupid shape or form, you do want to change the world, right? Like even if it's like a little bit. So even if I'm going to sell something on Etsy, like anybody could make the spreadsheet, yada yada yada. But having something that I know, like, because honestly, even when I saw that little box pop up, and I was like, that's it. Like, if people could just see that, if people could take that from somebody who did that for a living, yourself, like just go take that little box, you know, take that thing, plunk in the payments, and you'll see, and you'll be like, why wasn't I negotiating like this before?
yeah, right.
Yeah. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. This is give me a couple. You know, this is gonna go. I got something to focus on. So
I love it. Cool.
yeah.
I mean, the video's coming up. I'm getting it generated right now. Let's see. I'm about to patch the Remotion project with a new planner. Generating voiceover. Yeah, so I mean, it's making our video. It'll be done here in a minute, and I think we'll wrap it up. I'm gonna bundle everything that we talked about up into a nice folder for you.
Mm-hmm.
That you'll have your action items of things that you could do tomorrow. We talked about setting up. Let's see. Let me bring this down. Oops. 1 second, sir. Okay. So getting a domain, getting on Vercel. I think a domain is just good for you to have. I mean, I don't even think you really need a domain, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But to have, like, because a lot of these things are like they'll be listed on Etsy, but then you go to the website or something to purchase it. So just having a landing page, and then also you can market it online and not have to get like seller fees and all of that good stuff if it's just going directly through your site. Just marketing, like this last segment that we were really dialing in, is like, you have a story, and when you saw it, that one thing that was on there,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
like, oh, yes, like,
That's it.
and other people, Ian, I'm telling you, other people are gonna feel that exact same thing when they see that box. Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
not, you know what I mean? You're not the only person that when they see that, they're gonna be like, oh my God. So make all your content about that,
Yeah.
about the problem that was there, and then the solution that made you go, oh my God, it's there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
Because if that's what got you, that's what got me when you were telling me it, and I'm like, wow, okay, yeah, that's what we need to make it do. Then it'll
Yeah.
get other people too, you know. And
Yeah.
it's a real problem you're solving. This is cool. Anything else? What else do we?
The shoot. I'm kind of honestly overblown. I didn't think I'd have this much to work with. There was a bunch of websites that you sort of listed off that I've never even heard of, like the Cartesia and Pexel. Those are for the videos.
So Cartesia is going to be for voices.
Voices. Oh, okay,
If you want
gotcha.
to do the voiceovers without
Yeah.
your voice.
Okay, and then gotcha. And then Pexel is for the videos.
Pexel is just videos.
Okay, perfect.
And
you
then
could
you'll
put
use codecs plus remotion, and then you'll get Pexel API keys.
Pexel API keys.
Yep. You'll get a
Okay.
Pexel API key. You'll give it to Codex, and then you'll get Remotion, right?
Okay.
Here, let me get the Remotion. GitHub.
This was the part of it that I'm glad we're talking about this, because this is the part that I didn't really look at close enough, because I wanted to make sure I got, the product first. But the marketing and the video and the AI, this is what I was really excited to get to eventually. So I'm glad we're looking at this now.
Nice. Okay, cool. Tell Codex to install this. Add in API keys from Pexel. Pexel API keys. And then you can also use Fish Audio, but we'll just use Cartesia. Has better voices. So something cool, really fun math that is pretty interesting is if you did 30 hooks. So in all content, they're made up of, I call them just burgers, right? Top of it, first is the hook. Then you have the meat and potatoes, whatever's in your burger, right? What is actually the problem and the solution, and then you have a call to action at the end of it, right? Usually there's only like 5 calls to action that you can have. Hey, go to my website, make a comment, click on the link in my bio, send me a DM, or like this post, right? Or share. Whatever. There's just not many, right? Maybe we'll call it 5. So if you look at it as making burgers and your face is never in it, this makes it even better that your face isn't in it. Because what we could do is, let's say you go on Pexels and you get 30 hooks, right? 30 different hooks on Pexels, just like 30 different videos of car dealerships or whatever. Maybe it's different things, but you use Gemini to help you create 30 different hooks that would help you sell this product, right? What would hook somebody that wants this product? Like, are you about to sell your car? Definitely, or like, you definitely don't want to miss this if you're about to sell your car. Or you definitely don't want to miss this if you're about to buy a car, right? Those are all hooks. So create 30 of them with 30 different videos with text over it, right? Of like, hey, you don't want to, whatever, right? Step 2, create 10 of the stories, right? The meat and potatoes. Hey, don't have to worry about it anymore. I created this. Or a story. I went into 3 car dealerships and this, you know what I mean? Like 10 whatever.
With the testimonials.
Sure, exactly. And then 5 calls to action, right? Because there's not that many. If you do that, 30 hooks times 10 regular videos times 5, you get 1,500. Where's my camera? 1,500 videos, and you did it in a day.
So seriously, so you come up with the 30 hooks, 10 stories, 5 calls to action. And then you get 1,500 videos off of that.
Every hook goes to a different story, and there's 5 stories, and then each story gets a different call to action. So it might be the same hook, same story, different call to action, right? 900 to 1,500 videos that you can get out of that.
That's insane.
From one weekend. That gives you the ability to put 3 to 5 a day.
Yeah.
More.
And see, that's the thing, right? Is because like it says, like all these ideas, it's like, oh, you have to do this every day. Just do this every day. It's like, man, to do that every day, like I don't have time for that. But to come up with this and then to use the tools, it's possible.
It's actually possible. Yeah. It's not so far out of reach. You don't need a whole team for it.
That's right.
Amen, dude. Amen. So create the burgers, and dude, it doesn't even have to be fucking just burgers. You know what? Go post just the story and a call to action. Go post just the hook and a call to action with a cool demo video behind it.
Yeah.
Fuck the burger. Some people are fucking vegetarian, only eat the lettuce. No. You get it? So I'm just waiting for this video to be done so we can check this out, just to show you kind of what it does.
Okay.
It's just rendering this, bundling everything together.
And then for the Pexel and for the video, Cartesia and Pexel, those are like subscriptions as well. Then you just like do like a monthly thing, or is it per video?
I'm giving you all the free sauce, dude.
Amazing.
Don't pay for tools, man. That was the first thing that I did. I said, hey, what are you gonna pay for? That way I could tell that, yeah, everything that's not going to cost you $1.
That's so awesome, because that's a big thing, man. That's a big thing why I didn't start doing a bunch of app development. And that when you came up with when I saw your idea with the Google spreadsheets, I was like, that's what I was trying to do with an app. And I was just like, this is going to cost me like $500.
Well, dude, I mean, look, we could do this. When we're done, I'm going to send you all these. Tell it to take your calculator, put it into HTML so that you can actually interact it on a website.
Mm-hmm.
Launch it as an app. Boom, you have an app.
Do it. Okay. Sweet. Amazing.
You have a full, right? Your website becomes the calculator.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they could just sign into your website, and then they could track their, then hey, take it a step further, Ian. Make it an app that they can track their payments. It's a truth checker, but it also helps them track their payments and pay down their car faster.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely could keep that big idea. I love that, dude.
Yeah.
100%. They're just like basic tools, and then you could get into the free and tiered version, right? Where it's like, hey, free is this, and then like tiered gives you like the ability to have more metrics and change this and that, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then over time, this is where there's a video that we just did a review on. It was the 6 layers of thinking. At the top of it is like where everybody wants to be, especially as an entrepreneur. Where you should be is like in the creative state, right? It's like, hey, you push it. The creative part is pushing the marketing, and then iterating what you have, right? So like, hey, your app is just this sheet on the back end right now, dude. We did it in a day. Start adding to it. Yeah. We did it in an hour, Ian. Start adding to it, and then when you start adding those other features, then make the division of a free, you have a free tier, and then you have a pro tier that took you a little bit longer and, has some cooler features and maybe AI built in on the back end. How do I build AI into it? APIs. An API is basically like trying to call something that's on the internet, right? It's like, I want to use this thing that's on the internet on my website, right? So if I'm going to, in the code, it's going to be just, hey, if I type in this question, right, in this search box, and when I hit enter is not doing anything but calling the API key and sending what's in this text box to the API key, and then it's called a get push, and then you get a get pull. So whenever it completes, then it get pulls to the website to give you the answer. It's just using an API key in the middle that goes to whatever AI that you're using on the back end.
Amazing. Jeez, this is the thing, like it seems like it's so easy to understand, but there's always like this little bit of a barrier, and you're really helping me break that down. So I appreciate it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's because like I know there's like a ton of really easy stuff that can be automated, and then it's just making sure that like I don't know, it's almost like you become a proofreader in a sense, really, just to test it out and see.
Pretty much. Yeah, more of a proofreader than anything. All right, let's see. So we've got your video. Let's see it.
Shopping for a car by monthly payment? That's how buyers lose $2,000 to $5,000 without even seeing it. Dealers vary rate markups, padded fees, and extras inside one number. The Car Buyer Truth Planner shows the real cost instantly, checks the dealer math to the penny, and tells you if the quote is inflated. Stop guessing. Walk in prepared, negotiate with confidence, and keep more of your money. Tap now and get the planner for just $14.99.
That's perfect. That's bang on it. That's it.
Didn't do much. We just got a full commercial and demo. Obviously, that would take a little bit of better prompting. That was like 5 minutes of me just trying to do this on a speed run. But you get the picture.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, Ian, I'm going to put this all together for you. Everything that we've talked about. I'll send you a nice kind of recap of what we went through over our calls. I give you those action items that you can do tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You've got kind of how you use which AI for what now. You've got remotion that you get to walk away with as a skill for codecs, for creating the videos. You've got pixels. We talked a little bit about API keys. We talked about hallucinations and drift. Talked about the 5 fundamentals of prompting. Good session?
That was very, very good. That's everything I've been trying to get to with this project was what you just did right now. That was
I'm so happy.
I appreciate it.
I just have to ask, I like posting this little segment. Did I try to sell you anything in this video?
No, you didn't. Not at all.
No,
I was waiting for it.
Were you really waiting for it?
I was waiting. It's coming. I've had so many other things that people are like, oh, we're gonna give you a call. I'm like, oh, it's gonna come, and it never did. This was amazing. Well, I really appreciate it.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. You have my number now. You have my
Yeah.
email, Ian. It's such a
Yeah.
pleasure, man. If there's anything I can do, just like a quick question, you get hung up on something, whatever, shoot me a text, man. I'd love to help. And if you want to be on again,
Yeah.
you can. More than happy. If you want to take up another hour, this was fun. We can try to make another episode out of it.
Yeah. Well, I'll see how far I can get this weekend, and it'd be nice to do another, actually got success video.
Cool. Let's do it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Let's do the journey of this. Let's see it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Well, we have a great weekend, and I'll be busy.
Awesome, Ian. God bless, man. It's such a pleasure, dude. Have a good one, man.
You as well. Thank you.
Peace.